Okay, I've got my recumbent bike. I just finished my 10,000 steps and I wanted to take it for a ride because every 10 minutes is about 1,000 steps. So I've got to go to dinner here pretty soon, but I've got about an hour, so I'm going to try to take it down the road. I just attached my flashlight onto the back of it because it's overcast, so there's not a lot of sun out here. But other than that, it's been a beautiful day. It's just a little cold. Okay, we're starting out now. The sky, sun is still up, but there's a bunch of clouds over there, so it's looking really dark and it is cold. That's why I'm wearing my cap. I'm gonna do a little bit of a run just to see how many minutes I can get in. Beautiful day though. I'm gonna try to see if I can get this sunset. Oh, hey, how's it going? Good, good. How are you? Oh, I haven't seen him in a while. One of my neighbors that walks around the block. I probably should have stopped and been nice and talked for a little bit, but I really wanted to get riding. I got my flashlight back there, the one I really like. Well, I can see it now as I'm turning in the mirror. So I think I'll hear it if it falls off. But I probably should have secured it better than just those bungee cords. It's a nice evening. I turned my stopwatch on. So I'm just going to go around the block and then see what that turns out to be. I want to stay in this kind of safe zone. Up here on this one road, Century, my wife doesn't like to walk on it because it always has a lot of people driving like maniacs, but mostly just loud because there's walls on both sides of it, kind of like a corridor. So it just bounces from one to the next. Yeah, I did that 10,000 step. I had 1,000 steps on there, so I had to walk the other 9,000 steps just straight. And it was hard. It was long. I think it takes me about an hour and a half, maybe faster than that, but I kind of looked at it as about an hour and a half. So it's getting to be evening right now. It's about 4:30, I think. We're going to go to dinner at 6:45, but I have to be ready by 6. So I figured it'd give me a chance to get around one time. And then say it takes me 20 minutes. I'm going to count that as an additional 2,000 steps. So $1,000 for every 10 minutes. There's a trailer here on the road. Be careful getting around it. Oops, see, there's a car. Yep. He was looking though. Guy has his truck and a big old long camper on the road up to the corner. So it makes it hard for people to see around it. Not really sure how cool it is, but it's probably in the 50s. It didn't get too high today. I mean, it's probably in the 60s today. So anyway, I was watching a video, and the guy is a serious trainer, athlete guy. He trains other people. And he gets so frustrated because, yes, he can make money on people because everybody wants to turn over a new leaf in the new year. But he says it's so frustrating because they want him to come up with a meal plan, an exercise plan, and try to reverse all their bad habits for the last 10 to 15 years into 15 minutes. Or, I'm sorry, into 15 days. So his new thing this year to relieve the frustration is just to give you an assignment when you come in and you want to start working with them. You need to go out and walk an hour every day. He doesn't care if you send him a text showing how long you walked, or a picture of a stopwatch, or a map of where you went, or just a picture of yourself with a smile on. But he wants people to do this because what he's found is that most people are not going to make it for 30 days. They have a tremendous amount of commitment at first, but they're just not going to make it. So one thing that he said that really sunk in with me is whatever it is, 10, 15, 20 years of bad eating, not exercising, and getting yourself out of shape. He says it's going to take you 2 years to get into shape. And I was like, at first, I was thinking, well, I want to get in shape in like 45 days. So see, I fall right into that same mental trap. No, it's going to take you 2 years. You're going to have to change over these habits that you have and make them more consistent. And this 10,000 steps a day, it might go on for a couple years. There is a part of me that thinks, well, I'll get the weight off that I need to get off, and then I can start eating Oreo cookies again. But it's not just about weight. It's not just about what the scale says, but it's also about how you feel and how your body's doing. With me, I do feel like I've got that fat that's growing on the inside of my tummy. That happens with diabetics sometimes. I think it happens with everybody. I had surgery before where they had to remove my gallbladder and my appendix. And one of the things that stuck with me when I was talking to the surgeon is that both those organs were encrusted with fat. Fat had just attached themselves to it. And when I asked them, well, do I have to eat something different, or do I have to have a different diet now that I don't have a gallbladder? He just looked at me and smiled, and he said, Dave, your gallbladder hasn't worked for like 10 years. It was all necropsy, where it's actually dead. And he said, how long have you had these stomach problems? And I said, about 10 years. And he goes, yeah, it's pretty bad. So he just said, you do need to get on a diet, and you need to, get your weight down to optimum weight, which I think is below 200. I looked at it recently, and it was actually lower than that, but my wife was saying she thought it was too low. I'll start to look haggard, and I'll have droopy skin. I got the Harleys out tonight. So I just recently had another talk with my other doctor, my main doctor, and I had mentioned it before in a video, but it really kind of irritated me and made me quiet during the phone conversation, because when he was talking about me losing weight, I said, well, I already lost 25 pounds, and I was talking about the 25 pounds that I lost with Ozempic. But he was saying, Dave, it's great that you did lose that weight, and that's important, but it's pretty minor to the amount that you need to lose. So I have to step that up. And it made me mad at first, and then it made me think, you know what, you're right. I'm just using it like an excuse. I need to really get serious about this. So that's what I've been trying to do for the last 14 days. And my time horizon on it, let's just say it's going to be 2 years. And it's just the habits that I have to learn, to get better, healthier. So already, just in a week, the first week, it was amazing how my endurance went up. And I was able to go from just walking to bicycling, because bicycling is a lot harder. I mean, you got more muscles coming into play and bigger muscles, with your quads. And so then I was able to do this stepper. I think it's called an Eclipse machine. And that kicked my butt. But I did it for the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday. And then I would do the recumbent bicycle, stationary bicycle at my club. So it takes a lot more effort. I can definitely seems more effort than just walking. So the treadmill is good. But what I do on my treadmill walk is the last time I did 10 minutes on the elliptical, 10 minutes, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I did 30 minutes on the elliptical. I did 30 minutes on the treadmill and 30 minutes on the stationary bike. But what I do a little bit different, because I'm just trying to push myself a little bit more, is I do what they call a ladder. So I'll have the incline to 0 when I first start, and on the treadmill, when I get to 1 minute, then I'll make the treadmill go up 1 degree. So that's actually 2 clicks. Then I get to 2 minutes, I go to 2 degrees. 3 minutes, 3 degrees. 4 minutes, 4 degrees. And it's hard. And then I'll get up to 15 degrees, which is the max, at 15 minutes. And then once I hit that, I'll do that for a minute, and then I'll come down the other side of the ladder, and I'll go 15, 14, 13, 12, 1, all the way down to 1. And so it's like you're walking over a really steep hill, almost like a 45-degree incline. But man, it kicks my butt, and that's what I need to do. And this is all just within the first 2 weeks of this. So I know I have a lot more in me than what I'm given. I just got to build up some endurance to do it. I worked out twice with weights, and they were both good. But I'm not sure how I get the protein. I took a protein shake, but I'm trying to only eat between the hours of noon and 6 o'clock. I know tonight we're going to be eating at 6:45, and I don't stress about it at all. I'll just mean that I'll, I'll be 1 hour later, but normally I'll have 18 hours of fasting in between. And then when I get up in the morning to start to do some of my walking, I'm actually walking on an empty stomach, and after a minimum fast. So I think that's good. That's kind of the start of where I'm going. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for finding me. And thanks for being a part of my journey. And I appreciate you guys. Appreciate talking to you. Another Harley. Okay, 2 Harleys. And thank you for your time. Appreciate it. And have a great day. Thank you much.